Well, we want to bring it on with some of the email that you've sent to us. This first one, Pat, comes from Janet, who says, I am aware of a person buying and selling drugs who has enlisted their 2 young adult children to bring in customers. Do I report this to the authorities? This person has hurt our family very deeply and personally several years ago. I'm struggling. I know what is being done is illegal, but am I satisfying the retribution this person deserves for all the evil imposed on our family?
Look, how can I tell you what's in your heart? I have no idea what's in your heart. You know that, but the truth is, if you see a crime being committed, you have a responsibility to report it. And I see nothing wrong with turning these people in. I'm sure they'll think that you're doing it out of spite and revenge, but always think of something redemptive. What is the redemption that's going to come out of that? First of all, they won't be selling drugs in the neighborhood. Maybe these 2 young adult children will be delivered from this. Maybe they're being forced to do this. But all right, go ahead.
You may be the only person who prays for these people. If you're going to do that, pray for them at the same time.
Exactly,
and ask God
exactly.
To
all right.
Okay, Pat, this is Jim who says, I know that God hates pride. I'm wondering how Pat resists the temptation to be proud in view of all that he's accomplished in his lifetime. Also, I'd like to know if the fact that his organization is called CBN and the show The 700 Club instead of Pat Robertson Ministries is the result of Pat's determination to keep from elevating himself.
I never thought of the last part. I always thought, I mean, you use names. I wouldn't want to put my name on anything if I could help it, except the books I write, I put in as author. But listen, God in his marvelous wisdom ordained a newspaper in our local area that took delight in attacking me year after year after year after year. And if they weren't enough, then there's the Washington Post, and there's the liberal, at those days, the Associated Press, and then there's People of the American Way, and all the other organizations that spun off of those organizations, of the ACLU, and they all came after me. And so, hey, I've been kicked around enough, so it was good. The Lord blessed me by having those people beat me up, and so
keeps you humble, right?
Baby, it does. I mean, it really does. But I mean, hey, everything belongs to the Lord. I mean, what do we boast in? If there's anything we boast, I boast that I know in Jesus Christ. That if God forbid that I should boast, save in the cross of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's what Paul said, and that's our boasting. Okay.
This is Mrs. C, who says, is it biblically wrong to donate blood or organs when someone passes? I've heard that it was.
Nothing wrong about it. I think it's an act of humanity and an act of compassion. And if you can give a kidney to help somebody else overcome a terrible disease, I mean, why not? The person who had the kidney's dead, he's gone. So that's just a hunk of tissue. By all means, don't feel bad about doing something like that.
This is Judy Pat, who says, my husband has serious, unpredictable mood swings. He verbally attacks me when he's in his down mode. I'm then to blame for everything that's wrong with his life in spite of my efforts to calm and correct. But he doesn't let those judgments go when he's in a better mood. He just stacks those cards and uses them against me again and again. I so want to be and feel loved. He refuses to acknowledge that there's a problem that might be mental or medical, and that it might be his issue, not just me being a thorn in his side. So he refuses outside help because he doesn't think he has a problem. What do I do? May I leave the marriage if he refuses help? This is a second marriage of 18 years. I'm 71 and exhausted mentally and emotionally.
My dear, at 71, you should have had better sense. You were not an 18-year-old falling madly in love with some dashing Lothario. You went in with your eyes open. I think your husband is manic depressive, is what it sounds like. They call it bipolar or something like that. And I think you ought to insist that he get mental treatment, medical attention. If he won't take psychiatric attention, you have every right to sever the relationship. But is it right to leave him? The question is remarriage. It isn't so much leaving. It's a second marriage to you. And I think there's no way that living with that man is going to do anything except destroy you. So he's making it impossible for you to live with him. And you will be destroyed in the process. And you could say, look, I'll remain open to reconciliation if you get help and you get a certificate that you've been set free. Generally, they give a medicine, and the medicine will take care of that manic
mood swing, that up and down, up and
but
down.
it sounds like manic, and it can be very bad, but on meds, everything's cool. Okay, so, but there's no problem to leave it in a deal like that. I mean, there's no problem to you know. All right.
Leaving doesn't always mean divorce.
Just
right?
stay loving and stay redemptive. That's in your own heart. That's where it is. Okay.